This is Walking and Talking Spirituality. Thanks for taking a walk with me. Yesterday I was out kayaking and saw something that jarred back a memory from a long time ago. While we were kayaking, we stopped and we were on the sandbar around these mangroves, and on the mangroves, on the branches about 2 feet above the water level, were dried up barnacles. And it reminded me of a key lesson that I learned a long time ago, and I needed to rethink that lesson. And I hope hopefully it's helpful for you today too. Back when my kids were a lot younger, this has to go back 10, 12, 13, 14 years now. We were walking over in Cape Canaveral Beach. It's the beaches that are closest to Orlando. And we were heading north. So we were at Cape Canaveral Beach. So we were heading north. And if you're there, you can walk up towards this jetty. And the jetty opens up a space. It's where the cruise ships go out. I think there's some U.S. Navy pieces. There's a really nice park there. So we're walking towards the jetty, and it's a couple of miles north of us. And my daughters are having a great time. It's a beautiful day. There's skates skipping out in the water. The waves are coming in. It's kind of a spring day, so it's not exactly a get in the water day. So we're taking this nice hike together. And then down the beach, there was this object. It looked blue, but it looked really strange. And so my daughters raced on ahead. And when they got there, you could see them jumping up and down. And it's that pure joy that, if you've ever had young daughters, that they have when they find something that's really cool. So they're all happy and excited and jumping around. And when I get down there, I'm getting closer. It's starting to slowly come into focus. And this blue object was a 5-gallon discarded paint bucket. And what was interesting is the girls had noticed it just washed up on shore, and it was kind of sitting there. It was like half submerged in the sand, which is why I didn't know exactly what it was. But on this bucket, and this is what the girls were all excited about and squealing and jumping up and down, were a whole bunch of barnacles, and they were kind of going in and out. And we love animals, and so the girls immediately said, "Dad, we got to save them." And I was like, uh-oh. And so I tried to pull the bucket. I'm like, okay, let's save these guys. I'm trying to pull the bucket, and because of the vacuum and the sand and the water, it was just sucked into the sand. I couldn't get it. And then I'm trying to dig, but that really isn't working either. And I thought, geez, what am I going to do? And so I'm like, okay, I'll pull the barnacles off one at a time and throw them back in the water. Well, I reached down and grabbed a barnacle, and it squishes. Put it behind my hand real quick so the girls didn't see it, and threw it in the water. I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work either. And then I thought to myself, it's like, oh my gosh, this is not good. This is going to be the last day that these barnacles are ever going to be alive. Because it was worse. It wasn't just that the sun was coming down. There was also another group of persons that were right there at that bucket while the girls were jumping up and down. And that was a whole bunch of seagulls. Matter of fact, it was the ones from Finding Nemo. And they were there around looking at those barnacles going, mine, 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 mine. And so I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, you know what? I got to distract the girls. So I said, hey, let's go look over here. And so we went for a walk another way, went and got some food. But I remember looking back at that bucket, and I thought, wow, there's a life lesson here. You're like, what could I possibly learn from a bunch of barnacles on a bucket? And I think here's the lesson. At some point in those barnacles passed, it had made absolutely perfect sense to attach to that bucket. It had security, safety, but for whatever reason, that bucket had washed up on shore, and the barnacles couldn't let go of their past. They couldn't let go and move on to a bigger, richer, better, more prosperous future. And because they couldn't let go, that was going to be their last day. When I talk about realigning, that's what I'm thinking about. What is it today that we need to regain our bearings about so that we can move forward into the new things that God wants to do in our life? In what ways have we attached to some bucket that now we're stuck? Now, the good news, friends, is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And Jesus continues to call us to follow him. So let's let go of those things that are holding us back. And let's move forward and embrace that beautiful future that's in store for us. And then as ambassadors of abundance, let's share that good news with other people. Again, I'm Brian Russell. Let me know if I can be of any assistance to you. Until next time, live by faith, be known by love, be a voice of hope to others.